So in Hunger, Hope, and Healing, we talk about the fifth chakra, not only for its purpose of communication, but we want to make note that at times we have probably used food to dampen our voice or to push down emotions that otherwise would have come out through the throat. So there are times where we have eaten and swallowed our words, where we have eaten and numbed certain emotions or feelings. We have used food not to speak or not to rage or maybe not to cry. So we have a relationship with the fifth chakra in Hunger, Hope, and Healing that's proactive on behalf of our healing. And what that means is learning about how to gently open the throat and your voice and start using the voice in a way that sets clear boundaries. And also to use our voice in a way to speak authentically and to elicit more intimacy and connection in our lives in a genuine sense with people for whom we can take that risk and it's going to be returned. We start with the safer people in our lives. We also really want to look at lessening the ways in which we dampen the fifth chakra by misusing food, so that we're going to end up being exposed more to our emotions. But if we've done the work of the other chakras first, when we get to the fifth chakra, that exposure to or access to our emotions is something that we actually welcome, because we know that holding emotions down is going to be preventative for our full recovery. It's going to end up being protective of the emotions, but preventing us from growing and evolving. So we're going to keep working with the fifth chakra today. I can address the other chakras in other yoga classes too. And of course, if you have questions, you can always leave those in the comments below the video. Yeah, welcome everyone. Thank you for coming for practice. This afternoon, we're going to do a practice based on the throat chakra, the fifth chakra. So I'd like you to take a comfortable seat in an upright place and try to sense your seat as like a tripod base, 2 knees and your hips, like the shape of a triangle. Of course, if you're sitting in a chair, which is a very suitable option, you could also sit comfortably on the front of the chair and just take the knees a little bit wide and the feet straight down from there so that you still have this kind of triangle base that we have right now. And rest your hands in your lap, and you're welcome to close your eyes. And for this particular tripod, we don't sit in the center of the tripod, but we sit in the center of the pelvic floor, which is like the back part of the tripod between the knees and the hips. So try to sense your spine being upright over the center of the pelvic floor. And as you arrive for your practice, lengthen your spine upwards. Release your hips downward. Allow your breath to drop down below your belly button. And for the breath to move from the base of the pelvis upwards towards the heart. So beginning in the low part of your pelvis and rising upwards slowly, imagine the breath lifts not just the heart, but it gives a sense of opening to the throat chakra as well. And then as you exhale, begin the exhale from the base of the pelvis in the deep low belly. Exhale completely without hardening your jaw, your throat, without pushing the chest down. The exhale is supported from the bottom up. And then as you're breathing up and down the length of the spine, imagine this plumb line that you're sitting in from the center of the pelvic floor. The plumb line goes up through the chakras, trying to align each of the chakras. First chakra for grounding, for example. Second chakra for vitality. Third chakra for a sense of purpose or dharma. Fourth chakra for a sense of compassion or loving kindness. And the fifth chakra for a sense of your voice in being able to speak authentically and clearly. The sixth chakra for a sense of vision, the ability to see clearly. And the seventh chakra, our connection to the beyond, we could say. But let's get a sense of how things are feeling as you arrive for practice today. You do not need to be in perfect working condition, nor in all like orderly chakras right now. We're just going to notice what is present. And then bring your palms together at your heart. We'll do a short breathing practice where it's really important that we synchronize the length of the inhale and exhale with the length of the movements. The importance is that it causes us to need to concentrate with the mind and the brain and to collaborate between the mind, the breath, and the body. So it has an integrative or cohesive feel to it. So palms together. When you next inhale, raise your hands up like an arrow. And then exhale, push out to the sides of your room. The hands will come all the way down. Place your fingers behind you, interlace the fingers, and inhale, roll your chest, heart, and throat open. Look up. And then exhale, return your hands to your heart. Inhale, press up. Exhale, press out. Clasp the hands. Inhale, roll your chest, heart, and throat open. Look up. Exhale, return to center, arriving in Anjali Mudra as the exhale completes. Now clasp the hands. Inhale, push down, forward, and up. And then exhale, bring your hands down behind your head, pinkies at the base of the skull, palms facing down. Inhale, sweep the elbows forward and up, look up. Exhale, bring your head to level, stretch the elbows out to the sides. And now inhale, twist your head to the right, bring the right elbow up and the left elbow forward. Exhale, rotate back to center. Inhale, twist left. Exhale, rotate back to center. Inhale, push up and look up. And exhale, push out like you're clearing the windows of the mind. Release the fingers behind you to clasp them and roll open through your chest, heart, and throat. And then exhale, return your hands to your heart, arriving at the end of the exhale. And we're going to repeat that sequence and add to it very slightly at the end. Notice how you're doing with synchronizing. It requires concentration. It also requires self-acceptance. Whatever we're able to do, we acknowledge. We don't criticize that which we're not able to do. So interlace your fingers. Inhale, press down, forward, and up. Exhale, bring your hands down behind your head, palms facing down. Inhale, both elbows forward and up. And then exhale, level your head off, sweep the elbows out to the side. Inhale, twist to your right. Exhale to center, the elbows go wide. Inhale, twist left, raise the left elbow, stretch the right elbow forward. Exhale, rotate to center. Inhale, press up and look up. And exhale, push out to the sides of the room. Clasp your hands at the small of your back. And as you roll the shoulders open this time, inhale, look up as we've been doing. And then exhale and look down, but keep the shoulders back and the arms squeezed back behind you. And then inhale, tip your right ear towards your right shoulder. Exhale, gaze down. Inhale, left ear towards your left shoulder. And exhale, gaze down. And now rest your hands in your lap. And let's take notice. What does it feel like in the heart, the fourth chakra, in the throat, the fifth chakra, and even in the mind, the sixth chakra here? Noticing what we feel is a simple act. Noticing it without judgment is a skill. So in Hunger, Hope, and Healing, we talk about the fifth chakra, not only for its purpose of communication, but we want to make note that at times we have probably used food to dampen our voice or to push down emotions that otherwise would have come out through the throat. So there are times where we have eaten and swallowed our words, or we have eaten and numbed certain emotions or feelings. We have used food not to speak or not to rage or maybe not to cry. So we have a relationship with the fifth chakra in Hunger, Hope, and Healing that's proactive on behalf of our healing. And what that means is learning about how to gently open the throat and your voice and start using the voice in a way that sets clear boundaries. And also to use our voice in a way to speak authentically and to elicit more intimacy and connection in our lives in a genuine sense with people for whom we can take that risk and it's going to be returned. We start with the safer people in our lives. We also really want to look at lessening the ways in which we dampen the fifth chakra by misusing food, so that we're going to end up being exposed more to our emotions. But if we've done the work of the other chakras first, when we get to the fifth chakra, that exposure to or access to our emotions is something that we actually welcome, because we know that holding emotions down is going to be preventative for our full recovery. It's going to end up being protective of the emotions, but preventing us from growing and evolving. So we're going to keep working with the fifth chakra today. I can address the other chakras in other yoga classes too. And of course, if you have questions, you can always leave those in the comments below the video. So for the fifth chakra, what we've just done is a simple seated practice. You could do it sitting in your office chair. You can do it sitting in a restaurant if you don't feel too awkward about it. You can certainly do it sitting in a yoga class or when you wake up in the morning before you go to bed at night. Let's do now a little practice on the floor that's going to require more space. So if you'll turn so that you can have your yoga mat with your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor, lie on your back and give yourself the space you need for the arms to go out to the side and also to go overhead. Okay, so what you might test for, you can give a little test drive to the situation. You can ask yourself, are you able to take the arms overhead? Do the arms easily go out to the side? Okay, and then keeping the spine, hips, and feet grounded, with your inhale, raise your arms up towards the ceiling, spread the fingers wide. Exhale, take the arms overhead. You can do palms face up, stretch the fingers out. Inhale, raise your arms up. And exhale out to the side. So that's a really simple, basic movement. That's the choreography that we're going to be building on. So now what I'd like to do is make two fists, squeeze your fists firmly, and as you inhale, raise your fists up towards the ceiling. Open your hands, exhale, sweep the arms back towards the wall behind you. Make two fists, inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, open the arms wide, open your fingers. Now again, 2 fists. Inhale up. Open your hands, exhale the arms overhead, and stick your tongue out, make your eyes big. Make 2 fists and inhale, raise them up towards the ceiling. Exhale, spread your hands, spread your face, open the eyes, stick out the tongue. Make 2 fists, inhale, raise up. Exhale, open your hands and your face. Inhale, 2 fists, raise up. Exhale, open. Now relax a moment because we're going to add one thing to the practice. When we make fists now, we're also going to squeeze the face towards the center of the nose, as if you were making your face into a raisin, like you're squeezing it all wrinkly like that. And then on the exhale, we'll keep opening the hands. We make the eyes big. We stick the tongue out. Hi, Panda. What are you doing? You want to demonstrate the lion's pose? Okay. All right, let's try it together. So squeeze your hands into fists, squeeze your face, and inhale to go straight up. Exhale, open. Inhale up, squeeze the face, make your fists. Exhale, open. Two fists, inhale up, squeeze your face. Exhale, open. Inhale up. Exhale, open. And now deeply relax. Notice what's happening for you with your mind, your emotions, your breath, your face. And then reach for one blanket to put under your head, please. One folded blanket under the head, and then lie on your right side. I hope that was fun. Let's take the right hand like this, place it under the left knee, and use your hand to make a spacer between the knees, and also use your hand to encourage the left knee to keep stretching out. So the two knees are going to be equal there. The left knee doesn't back up in this twist, they stay equal. And then inhale, raise your left arm as you rotate your head towards the ceiling. And exhale, open to your left. Rotate your heart, your arm, your shoulder, your head. Inhale, raise your left arm up to the ceiling. And exhale, return to the starting position. Inhale, raise up, synchronize. Exhale, open. Inhale, raise up. Exhale to the starting position. Inhale, raise up. Exhale, open. Inhale, raise up. And exhale, return to the starting position. Now this time we're going to stay in the pose for a few breath cycles. So inhale, let's go up, moving your arm, your heart, your head together. Exhale, open to your left. And if your left arm does not make it to the floor, don't be dismayed. Stretch your arm with an active sense of responsibility to your shoulder, your arm, and your hand. It's okay if they float a little above the floor. Lengthen your left thigh towards its knee so that the hips are still stable. Now keeping the twist, as you exhale, turn your head to your left. As you inhale, rotate your head to the right. And then exhale, rotate your head to the left. Inhale, rotate right. Exhale, rotate left. Inhale, rotate right. And exhale, rotate left. And then let's unwind, bring the left arm back to where you started, release your right hand, and let's roll to the other side. So first come onto your back and pause in the middle here where your body is kind of symmetrical. And notice the different areas that are activated or opened and the areas that might still feel a little bit dull. Okay. And then we're going to go to the other side. So lie on your left side and you're going to put your left hand that will go behind the right knee. I don't know where my cat went. So place the left hand so that it's going to help you to stretch your right thigh to match the right knee. And as you inhale, raise your right arm up and look up. And then exhale, open to your right, whatever distance you can travel with the flexibility of your shoulder and your upper back while keeping the pelvis stable. And then inhale, raise up to the ceiling. Exhale, reach across. Inhale, raise up. Exhale to open. Inhale, raise up. Exhale, reach across. Inhale, rise up. And exhale to open. We're going to stay this time. So remember that we're going to stay with the twist of the chest and the heart and the right arm to the right. Feel into where your body has flexibility and where you need to be more attentive. Like my right arm won't reach the floor here. So you're going to take responsibility for the arm, wherever it happens to be. Keep it active. So you're actively stretching your right arm and your right thigh away from each other. And as you exhale, turn your head to your right. As you inhale, rotate your head to your left. And exhale to your right. Inhale left. And exhale right. One more time, inhale left. And exhale, turn to your right. And then bring the right arm back in, rotate onto your side, and then turn onto your back. And let's notice again in this symmetrical position when you get here, what it feels like in your body. And then remove the blanket from under your head and notice if your head might be a bit more comfortable than usual, laying flat against the floor. Do you have a sense of maybe your posture makes this easier? A lot of times when people lie on their back, they end up with their head tipping backwards because their thoracic spine is a bit rounded. The shoulders are kind of pulled forward. So notice if you might feel like your posture is more aligned having done what we were doing. Okay, and then roll to your side and come up to sitting. Let's take both blankets now. We're going to stack them. like this. So if you have your blanket folded, I can see my kitty now. She's got a spot on the couch. I'm sorry you can't see her. If you have both blankets folded like this, which I call the storage fold because that's how they fit onto my shelf, you're going to stack these two blankets like so. It's kind of the equivalent of a yoga bolster. Okay. So this is going to act like a yoga bolster for us right now. So if you'll lie backwards over it, like so, when you lie backwards, initially clasp your hands behind your head and reach your elbows towards the space behind you. So there's a couple purposes here. One is that as you hold your head, you don't have to put it all the way back to the floor right away. The second purpose is I want you to be able to stretch your elbows towards the wall behind you, thereby opening your chest, your rib cage, and your heart. Stretch the legs out straight. The blankets are directly under your shoulder blades here, so the head and the knuckles are moving back towards the floor. Now this is going to seem like a weird thing to do, what I'm going to say here, but let me remove my hair clip so I can demonstrate it. I'm going to ask you now to reach and hold your hair. So if you can gather your hair at the top of your head, this is actually a yoga practice. We're going to use the hair to give a little scalp massage. So gather your hair, hold on to it, and give a little tug. So the head goes back. What you could do is use the left hand to tug and the right hand to tug. Left hand, right hand, and then use both hands to tug. So you're stretching your scalp, and also your neck is going to have a release from doing this. Keep the elbows reaching long overhead. And then exhale, touch your head down and reach your arms overhead towards the space behind you. And notice now that the throat is probably a little bit open. The head does tip slightly backwards. So take a deep breath in, reach into your heels and into your fingertips. And then let's take the arms out to the side in a T shape. Roll your shoulders down towards the floor. With your right hand, hold the back of your head. And then rotate your head towards your right elbow. Use your right hand to hold the back of your head here. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, return your head to center. Place it back down on the floor. Open the right arm. Hold your head with your left hand. And rotate your head to your left. Let gravity support you in stretching the side of your neck, the right side of your neck. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, rotate back to center. Open your left arm out to the side. And then please bend both knees. Place your right hand behind your head and roll to your right side. And come up to sitting. Okay, so that is one way that we work through the fifth chakra, the neck and the shoulders. And there is a connection between the fifth chakra and the second chakra, which is in the deep part of the belly. That connection also includes how we experience the unexpressed emotions, the emotions that we still are kind of holding. We didn't even know we're doing it. So this, I hope, does feel better. We're going to work a little bit now with the lower chakras, the first and second chakras. So let me ask you to come to table pose. Place your hands at their shoulder width apart. And then keeping this kind of table pose as your stable base to return to, step your right hand forward of your left hand. Press down through your palm, reach your hips back. Let's touch the left elbow down. And as you relax the weight of your head, turn your head to your left. And allow the breath to come down into the right lower belly, the right lower back. And then as you next inhale, raise up to table pose. So step the right hand back to meet the left hand. Now walk the left hand forward. Reach back with both hips, touch your right elbow down. The hips will not reach it all the way to the heels. That's not our objective here. Turn your head to your right. And as you draw back with the left hip, reach into the back waist. And exhale completely. Inhale one more time. And then exhale, press down into your right hand, place your left hand. And now inhale to the cat pose, round your spine. And exhale to cow pose. Undulate the spine through, open your chest, heart, and throat. Inhale to cat pose. Exhale to cow pose. Inhale to cat pose. And exhale to the cow pose. And then sit back to kneeling. Come to Vajrasana. Rest your hips on your heels and your hands in your lap. And as we kind of, spiral downwards to the second chakra, first chakra, the base of the belly, notice what's present for you in terms of any emotions or feelings, sensations. Now we're going to include the pelvis and the inner thigh. Come back to table pose, your hands, and then step your right leg out to the side. Mine will go towards the computer. And turn your right foot to point forward. Now you can't see my right foot at the moment, it's pointing straight ahead. And then come down onto the elbows. And do your best to keep the pelvis level. So you might be sensing a stretch on the upper inner right thigh. So as you level your hips, keep the back waist broad also. Breathe in and breathe out. You can even smile at the sensations down the inner edge of your right leg. Now take the left arm across your mat. The forearm goes across the mat like this. And place your right hand on the floor and twist your upper body to your right. And then raise the right arm up. And do your best to lengthen your spine so that your head is turning with your chest and shoulders, but it's neither dropping towards the floor nor trying to hold the phone to your right ear. So your head is neutral. And take a deep breath, open your chest, your heart, and your throat. And then exhale and come down and place both elbows back on the floor. Now bring the right arm across your mat horizontally. Place your left hand on the floor near your right hand and twist your upper back to your left. And then do your best to raise your left arm up. It's going to require some abdominal strength, some pelvic stability, some flexibility in the right inner thigh, also mobility of the upper back, neck, and shoulders, and some self-acceptance. And then exhale, bring the left elbow back down. A much more simple pose now, right? Place your hands on the floor and step your right leg back into table pose. And sit back to kneeling and notice what is happening inside. Of course, when we turned to the right, we may have had a sense of freedom. When we turned to the left, we might have had a sense of limitation or feeling like less expansive. So notice the differences. and your responses to those differences too. So working with our voice, one of the things that we're going to be cultivating is we become aware then when the voice feels free and easy and accessible, and we might experience it as joyful. And then we will also start becoming aware of when our voice feels blocked or hindered or timid, and that we might experience with some sadness or poignancy. So we're going to do the pose on the other side, and you get a chance to explore that sense of freedom in one direction and potentially a sense of limitation in the other direction. These explorations are not measurements of our worth. They're just explorations for us to understand ourselves better. So come to your table pose. Step the left foot out to the side so your foot points straight ahead. And then come down to your elbows. And on your elbows here, lengthen your left inner thigh by leveling your hips. Sometimes what will happen is you'll put the left foot out to the side and then the left hip will hike up. So you could reach with your hand to check if the hips are pretty level across the backside. And breathing in and breathing out. Let's take the right forearm across the yoga mat. So we're going to go to the easier, more open side first. Press down with your right elbow. Twist your chest, upper back, and heart to your left. Raise your left arm. And notice the strength that is required, but the freedom that might be available. And breathe in. And as you exhale, lower your left elbow down. Now cross the left forearm over your mat. Take the right hand on the floor nearby. And as you press down with your right arm, rotate to your right. And then raise your right arm up and see if you can practice that sense of pelvic stability, abdominal tone, the strength of the left arm and shoulder, the reach of the right arm, and accepting where your body can have capacity and any place where it's limited. And then exhale and lower down. Place both elbows. Return your hands to the floor. Step the left foot in. And sit back in kneeling to take notice again. Notice what your response was to maybe a sense of freedom and then perhaps a sense of limitation. And if you were to expand that, when you have freedom of voice, when you can express yourself, what is that like? And when you have a sense that that freedom is not there, what happens then? Okay, now we're going to come down to the floor for a really sort of classical yoga practice. Did you just get scared by something, Panda? Yeah? You're feeling frightened? You look a little bit frozen, a little bit stunned. I know you guys can't see her, I'm sorry. So we're going to do bridge pose and then fish pose. So Setu Bandhasana and Matsyendrasana. These are like classical yoga poses. To understand, the first one is going to close the throat, bridge pose. The second one's going to open the throat. And sometimes after the second one, we feel this lovely openness, but also we could have emotions rising from the base upwards. So let's do it with an awareness of that. Please lie on your back. Watch out for hair clips because you're going to have the back of your head on the floor, and then you're going to have the top of your head on the floor. So I'm taking mine out again. I have more than one clip to remove. Okay, so we're going to take the arms down so that you're going to squeeze the shoulders behind the upper back. Press the upper arms firmly, firmly down. And the chest and heart should start lifting up. So that already causes the upper back to reach up off the floor. Press the elbows and shoulders firmly down. Now press into both heels and all 10 toes. And then raise your tailbone and go up to bridge pose. So we lifted the heart first in this bridge pose. And we're going to kind of recalibrate the heart by tucking each upper arm down and under. And as you firmly press your upper arms down, lift your hips, and lengthen towards your knees. And bring the arms down so your palms are going to face down. As you're raising your heart, press your shoulders, upper arms, elbows, forearms, palms, and fingers down. Notice that the chin is snug towards the throat, so temporarily the throat is closed. And then exhale and lower down. Release your arms from underneath the rib cage. Pause and watch the circulation going from your heart and down your arms towards your hands. So we temporarily closed the throat and increased the openness of the chest and heart. When we release the bridge pose, the throat acts as a gateway between the heart and the mind. Like the communication is open once again. Let's bend the elbows, place the upper arms firmly on the floor, tuck each upper arm under to the best of your ability. Press down with your upper arms, raise your tailbone up. And as you're taking the upper arms and snugging them down and under, give a firm sense of enthusiasm to the shoulders, upper arms, and elbows. Raise your hips and lengthen your tailbone towards your knees. Lay your forearms down and also your palms. Gaze in towards your heart with your eyes, even if they're closed. So we want to keep the legs and the arms strong. The hips and pelvis are strong. The shoulder blades are also expressing strength as they hold up the heart. And relax your mind. Take your gaze in towards your heart. The throat is temporarily closed. And then exhale and start rolling down. Release the arms out to the sides. Relax your shoulder blades, and as you come down again, watch that the throat is gently reopened. Circulation can return. Down your arms and towards your hands. Now in bridge pose, we really prioritize having the upper arms press against the floor. In fish pose, it's going to be the opposite. We're going to prioritize that the hands and the forearms press firmly down. The shoulders will not be on the floor. But to get there, if you put the palms face down, roll your right hip up, place the right hand under, palm face down. Roll the left hip up, place the left hand under. So both hands are under the pelvis right now. Then stretch the legs out straight. It's going to give you some leverage. And you might want to watch before you try this on. We're going to pick up the chest and scooch the elbows in. And as the elbows get closer, then you lift the chest and we look backwards. So the elbows press really firmly down here, and we're lifting the heart, and the throat is its most open right now. So go ahead and follow me up. You're going to want to have the elbows pretty snug towards each other, and the legs do stay grounded. This is called fish pose, Matsyendrasana. Not everyone's head is going to comfortably touch the floor. It's totally fine to put a blanket there for your head. The shoulders are not on the ground, and the chest is lifted quite a bit. And then start rolling the back of your head down to the floor. Scoot your hands out from under your hips. Open the arms a little bit out to the side. Turn your palms face up. And watch again how the circulation is changing. I'm sorry, my cat just got startled by something. And she's about to knock over a lamp. What happened, Panda? She's almost a year old, you guys. Okay, we'll do fish pose again. So start with bending the knees because it makes it easier to place the palms. So roll the right hip up, place the right palm face down. Roll the left hip up, place the left palm face down. Scooch the elbows in snugly underneath you. Stretch the legs out straight. Press your legs down. Roll your chest and heart up. And as you look backwards, joyfully keep the heart lifted. Please do support your head if you need it. So root down with your hips, lift up with the heart, support the head. But notice how the front body is like a little mountain range right now, and the heart is the high peak. Breathe in one more time. And then exhale and slide on the back of your head to come down. Lift your hips and scooch them out from your arms out from underneath you. And as you take the arms out to the side, separate the feet a little bit too. They can be wider than hip distance. And with the arms out to the side, take your feet now and just rock them. So the feet do this kind of toes up, toes down. You're really rocking yourself from your ankles, but the whole body gets the sensation of rocking. You really relax the head, the neck, the throat. Even your chin is going to be rocking. Turn your head a little bit to the left as you keep rocking. And turn a little bit to the right. See if the head can stay relaxed enough that you still gently rock the head even though you're turning it. And ask for the blessing that all stress and tension is going to be removed. And then rotate back to center and let your body relax. Notice your body coming back home. Circulation going to all regions of the body. You could even imagine like the sand going down through the hourglass. But right now it's like one grain of sand at a time. The body and the mind deeply, deeply letting go. And relax the corners of your eyes, your eyelid, the eyes themselves. Soften the place behind your eyes. And begin relaxing from the bridge of your nose down to your cheeks and over to your ears. Release the hinge of your jaw so the tongue can be deeply relaxed. And go from the tip of your tongue, relaxing, travel into the throat. Invite the tension that might habitually surround your voice to be relaxed, to be softened. Let the lower jaw become even more slack from the upper jaw. Relax not only the first sense of your throat, but even deeper than that. The middle of the throat, your neck, all the way down to the base of the neck, and even towards your collarbone. As your throat relaxes, allow that to be felt in the entirety of your body. Notice the arms and legs getting heavier with relaxation. More deeply grounded. And as you invite the throat to be even yet more relaxed, also give your limbs permission to deeply rest against the ground. Allow the center of the body to feel light or spacious, relaxed and open. Allow the process to continue, deepening by resisting distractions, nor intruding on yourself with any commentary. Allow the relaxation to go deeper. Imagine also that your mind, the habits of the mind, can become deeply relaxed. And as those habits fade into the background, your wisdom and clarity, your authenticity comes forward. Now begin to lightly wiggle your fingers and your toes. You can bend your elbows and your knees. When you're ready to, please roll to your side. Reach for your hair clips. Eyes back up to sitting. We'll take a blanket to sit on. You, of course, can use 2 blankets to sit on if you prefer. As you come to your seat, and rest your hands in your lap. Notice now what it feels like to be in the system of your chakra. Now, if you bring awareness into the throat, let's imagine in any way that your inner voice tone, the voice tone that you speak to yourself with, has that been changed by this practice? Even if it's a temporary change, what do you notice right now about your internal voice tone? And then if you imagine one place in your life that you might want to try on speaking more clearly or more slowly or more authentically, where might that be? And how might you visualize that occurring? And please raise your hands to your heart, and we're going to chant Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Om Shanti, may there be peace within. Om Shanti Shanti, the second Shanti, may there be peace amongst us. And the third Shanti, may there be peace in all the realms. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you very much, everyone. Namaste. Thank you for joining in for the practice today. And again, please leave your questions or comments below the video if you have them. If you're not attending this class live, but you're seeing the recording on YouTube, you might also consider liking and subscribing because that is customary on YouTube. So thank you very much, everyone.